We have a very unique church. We have one large church with two locations. One location in the South Valley of Albuquerque, so it's known as Sandia Valley Church of the Nazarene, where it used to be a Bible college. And so it's 17 acres. There's actually 34 housing units there on the campus where a lot of the volunteer staff lives, and where people that we've been ministering to, some of them from prison, some of them from rehab, some of them from off the streets, some of them that have just been looking to get more connected to God and feel that accountability of living there would be good for them. The other location is in the War Zone, Southeast Heights of Albuquerque, on Central. And there, it's great. They have a daycare, they have a thrift store, and it's actually on Central, so we get real people coming in to the thrift store and the daycare all day long that we get to minister.
When somebody comes in and they make a commitment to Christ, then one of the most effective ways to enhance their commitment and help them to grow as a Christian is to get them involved in a ministry. So it's not uncommon that somebody's been in our church and just serving the Lord for just a matter of months ends up deeply involved in a ministry, even teaching a Bible study class, on the praise team, cooking a meal for somebody in need.
Missional means to be able to go out and pursue our mission. The mission of the Church of the Nazarene and Sandia Church of the Nazarene is the Great Commission that Jesus commanded us all as believers to do, to go out and make disciples. Loving the unlovable is really extending mercy, as Jesus says, and to extend mercy just as we have received mercy from God, to be able to offer the hope of Jesus and love to those who don't necessarily even want it. So we'll have outreach events throughout the year, for example on Thanksgiving, where we give out turkeys and we invite everybody, the whole city. We invite them to a worship service and then to listen to an evangelistic message. And the real gift there is giving them an invitation to accept Jesus. And then we'll give them a turkey so that they can have to celebrate afterwards.
We really stress one-on-one discipleship in the church and getting people actually involved in people's lives, because when somebody gives their life to Christ, there's so many influences in their past that are trying to drag them away from Christ. And so the church needs to be at least that involved in their life, pulling them towards Christ and encouraging them in their faith. And so we stress one-on-one discipleship. So I believe that that's the call of the church, is to reach out to those that many are ignoring.
It really is a spiritual need, not a physical need. I think there's plenty of people willing to hand out a handout or a meal or even a place to stay, but there's not a whole lot of people offering the hope of Jesus to those who desperately need it. It's really the only thing that's going to help them. Started going into the juvenile prison, state prison in Albuquerque, and having Bible studies, and I found as the more I made myself available and said yes to God, He opened up doors that blew me away. We had kids that were able to start being released on pass from prison to come to church. And that just grew into kids coming to giving their lives to Christ inside the prison, starting to disciple each other in prisons. God reminds me that's where I came from, and I think that's probably why where I'm at in ministry, is I'm surrounded by people who I was just like. And it doesn't ever let me leave that point of brokenness that when I first came to the altar and realized that I needed to give Jesus everything. It's just a real miracle. God does not limit who He wants to use in His kingdom.